Hey everybody, it's Josh from CollectionDX here with another review. This is a NifeliZ kit. They have a series of tactical armor, so we're building Mecha today. And these are, building block sets, but they're original designs. And you can see here, there are a few different designs. Blue Meteor, Wuotan, Red Mayfly, and Brino AC. What you're gonna see in the box is instruction manual, parts and bags for one action figure. So it's a NifeliZ tactical armor set. I have all 4 sets. We will look at them all. But for now, let's see what's in this kit. All right, we have a nice Wuotan action figure. It's 630 pieces, age 16 and up. Really nice book. Wow, this is really nice. And then all the parts are in one big baggie, and you can see they're standard brick parts for the most part. I don't see anything unusual in here. The baggies are numbered, and they have a nice kind of mecha design on them. And yeah, we're gonna build this and let you know what we think. Here it is, the Wuotan mech from NifeliZ. It's a fun build, only took a few hours, lots of little pieces, but lots of articulation. It does get a little back heavy with the boosters, but I mean, it seems like the more you play with it, the looser it gets. So just keep that in mind. Things start out initially tight, and a lot of it depends on how you position these boosters on the back. If you bring them closer to the center of gravity, you will be less likely for it to tumble. But there's a lot of articulation here. But let's check out this big gun. It's super cool. It's got a handle it can hold on to, and it connects via brick parts to the back of the arm. The arm has multiple points of articulation. Let me show you a cool joint here that they have. So you can see you can bring it closer to the body or bring it out. You got a ball joint under the shoulder, elbow, wrist, articulated fingers. You have a waist joint. The head is on a ball joint. And the head is actually rather cool looking, I think. It uses the body of a battle droid as the lower part of the mouth, and I think that's a really cool touch. There are a lot of fun little building techniques in here. The way they covered up pretty much every stud, almost every stud, and created lots of cool little flexible panels. There's great articulation in the knees, and it's just a kind of a Technic joint in there. Same thing with the feet. There's posable ankles on joints, and all these little booster rockets move, as well as this one in the back. But you notice, like here, there's a little... It'd be nicer if there was something to cover these studs. I might just pull a piece out of my inventory, just kind of cover it with a plate. But overall, there's almost no kind of exposed studs. But the articulation is fantastic all over the place. Articulated fingers. These boosters are really nice. They just add a bit of weight to the figure. You know, it connects via one ball jointed piece in there, so it's a ball joint there and there. But you can see you have a nice engine booster. These move a little bit. These go up and down. But it is a building block model. So even though sometimes you have just one stud, that's all that's holding that piece on is one stud. So again, it's not a big play piece. It's very much a pose and display piece. But for a mech made entirely out of building blocks, which I've never made before, despite being very much into mechs and robots. I never built anything from, the Legos mech line that they've had, or they always seem to have some kind of mech in one of their lines. I've actually just never built one. And this has a just different aesthetic. This has a sort of virtual on, maybe a little armored core look to it, but I think it's an original design. Not entirely sure. But it is cool, and I'm glad I have it, and it's going to pose nicely. Just those couple of shortcomings where when it gets a little top heavy, if you have the boosters hanging out back too much, you got to remember that some things are held in with just one stud. So One stud sometimes isn't enough to pivot. Like if you're moving a piece like this hinge here, you might just pop the stud off. But again, this is a Lego type build with NifeliZ bricks, and it's listed under their, it's called a Wuotan action figure, a NifeliZ tactical armor. It's 630 pieces, but again, a lot of these pieces are really small, so they create this really intricate look by having tiny bits. Some neat part usage in here to show you. The thumb on the hand is a pistol, which I think is kind of neat. I showed you the body of the battle droid there, but otherwise most other parts are pretty standard. And it just looks great. It poses great. In fact, you know, we talk about posing and how, you know, obviously posing is important to a good look. And this is the book here. And first of all, the book is always, you know, phenomenal and kind of leveled up from a normal kind of, from a not Lego set, right? So again, NifeliZ really levels up on these booklets here, and the you know, gives you information. But you get to the end, and there's a whole thing here about posing, which I think is really interesting, where they kind of tell you like how to effectively pose a toy, you know. So angle the chin pulled down, make the height of the shoulders even, body should not be straight, should have an S figure, so that there's a little crotch thrust. Isn't a crotch thrust, but that, you know, if you're a long time reader, you'll know crotch thrust. Slightly bend the arms. So it's an interesting thing to kind of add that instruction in that, like, look, like, you know, we care how this is going to look, and if you want to get the most out of it, you know, follow these instructions. So I have 3 more of these to build, and I'm curious to see how different they are in construction from each other. If they're similar arm and leg builds, you know, and with just different bodies, or I really just don't know what to expect. So tune in to check that out. Another cool little feature, if you want to check it out, is this hole. They give you a place to, if you decide to build a stand to keep this up in the air, you can plug it in there and secure it. I thought that was also a nice touch. This base is slippery here, so it's not so slippy in real life. I'm using kind of a slippery base here, but it's just a fun, I love this. I think it's really cool. You know, it satisfies the brick builder in me. It satisfies the mech head in me. It's an interesting mech design. You know, a lot of the stuff that comes out of the official sets are a little kiddie and a little, you know, tied into Ninjago or something like that. This is just a nice mech design. So I'm all about this. So this is Josh from CollectionDX. Stay tuned as we will roll out another one of these sets, maybe one a week. We'll see how time goes, and you can check them all out. Of course, this set arrived courtesy of NifeliZ, so click the link below to go get your own. They're not expensive. They're fun builds, and they're a surprisingly large scale. This has been Josh from CollectionDX. Thanks a lot.